Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of the Football Unknown podcast. Man, we're on episode 43, and we have a special guest who is going to talk about, a little different side of soccer, okay? And before we get started, I'm going to have him introduce himself. So, guest, can you please introduce yourself? Tell him your name, your age, what do you do, where you're from, and then we'll get it started.
What's up, guys? I'm David Ortiz. I play professional indoor and futsal. I'm from Dallas, Plano, Texas, to be specific, and I'm 23. And yeah, I've been playing soccer all my life. So
okay.
Now I'm here.
So before we kick it off, right, I have this famous question that I ask on the Football Unknown podcast, which is the first question, which is, when can you recall the first time that you fell in love with the game of soccer?
Oof, yeah. That's a great question.
Way
that's
back,
a great
right?
question. Yeah. I know. In between my dad and my uncle helped me get started around like 3. I was 3 playing with a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Yep.
And, but my very first team, Pumas. It was Pumas. So when I was like around 5, that's when, I can actually tell like, okay.
Absolutely.
People could tell that I could be good. So probably that first team for sure.
Pumas in Mexico or here?
No, it was here. It's like a little rec team.
Okay.
When you're 5.
Yep.
From 5 to 6, I played rec.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was probably like my first memory where I was like, okay, yeah, like I like this. You know what I mean? I was like in kindergarten. I was like, I want to be pro.
What state? So it was in Dallas, Texas?
Yeah, Dallas,
Texas.
Yeah.
You played for a rec team.
Yeah.
And how long until you came to the realization that, man, I want to take this a little more seriously, and then you made that jump to a travel soccer team, I'm guessing?
Yeah. So around, I think I was 8.
Okay.
7, 8. I was still playing that like with Pumas and stuff like that. And one of the FC Dallas coaches was there. Why, I don't know. Maybe he was scouting, maybe, I don't know. But after one of my games, he goes up to my parents. He was like, hey, he's really good. He should make the jump already. So
wow.
And then, I was playing. He wanted me to try out for his older team first. So I was playing a year older, basically, all my life. So
really?
Yeah.
So you were 8 playing rec.
Yeah.
And then the FC Dallas coach, which is, an MLS Next Academy.
Yeah, basically.
Around that time?
Yeah.
So... okay, so you moved when you were 8, playing against what, 10-year-olds?
9, 10-year-olds.
9, 10-year-olds. How was it making that jump? Like, what were some differences that you saw?
I mean, good. I mean, it was pretty smooth, to be honest. I mean, confidence has been one of my specialties. You know what I mean, in and out of my career.
Which is good.
Yeah. Confidence is key for sure. But no, it was smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, the teammates were cool. The coach was great. So, I mean, it made it a lot easier, of course. FC Dallas has a great environment for youth. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were there any challenges that you saw at that time? Like making that jump, right? Whether it be just the seriousness or the playing styles or just the routines, the trainings?
I mean, it was the hardest part was probably like finding who I could click with, as fast as I can. That way I can feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but nah, like I said earlier, it was pretty smooth. It was pretty smooth.
What position were you playing at that time? Did you have any preference at that time?
My whole life I played center mid.
Oh, played center mid your whole life?
Every single year.
Yeah.
Center mid. Maybe here and there a little bit of winger, but
okay.
But center mid.
So I'm guessing. So did you have like any preference in the middle, like CDM, attacking mid, or just the whole thing? You just like the whole middle?
Yeah. So growing up, I was always the 10. I was always the attacking mid.
Yep.
But later towards like when I was like 19, 20, I started playing a little bit more CDM.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you spend at Dallas?
Dallas, I was since 8 until 17.
Oh, so you were there for a while.
Yeah, that's my childhood club for sure.
Yeah. After your first season, so how was your first season playing with them? And getting used to the environment and just used to how the FC Dallas plays.
No, when I was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, FC Dallas is known for, playing out of the bag, playing no long balls, pretty soccer, you know what I mean? So it fits my style of play because when people start kicking in, you know what I mean? I've always been the smallest one in the team, too. So it's like, if the ball's on the ground, I'm closer to the ground, it's better for me, you know what I mean? So it fit me in my playing style really, really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, so after your first season, so I'm guessing you spent about, 7 seasons? From 8?
Basically,
about that time. So any challenges during that time? After you were 8 and then you were moving up to the older groups, anything was changing?
Yeah, so back then it wasn't really MLS Next, MLS, all this. Back then it was like select soccer. And then when you hit about 12, 13, then you become academy.
Okay.
So academy was like the MLS Next of now, basically.
Yep.
So when I was 13, those big tryouts, like, hey, academy team, best out of all the little FC Dallas teams, you choose the best out of every single team, and you represent, like, FC Dallas actually, at the academy level. And so that was I mean, I made the team, luckily, thank God, you know what I mean? But obviously it wasn't easy, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of ballers in Texas, and let alone in Dallas,
Let's talk about the process. So how many teams, so like, did they select different players from the different select teams of Dallas?
Yeah, so it was an FC Dallas tryout, but you'd see like kids from other club teams like Solar, Texans, Andromeda back then, like a bunch of other club players that from other teams wanted to join that team because it was the best in the state, at least, or best in the country at the time too.
Yep. And then they would have like a big like a trial combine or something like that?
Yeah, basically. It was like 100 whatever players, and each day they keep making cuts until there's 18.
18. So out of the 100, they choose 18.
Yeah.
And then they add them to what? Did they go in as like U15, U16?
It was my first academy season. I think it was U15.
U15?
Yeah.
Okay.
U15.
So now you're making that jump to academy.
Yeah, U13.
Oh, U13.
Yeah, it was
younger.
U13.
Younger.
Yeah, it started at U13. Yeah, now that I remember, it was U13.
U13. Yeah. So it's academy now. Okay, so I'm guessing it's a little bit different, a little bit
higher level.
Higher level. So tell me about some of the differences that you saw from playing select for FC Dallas and now playing for the academy team.
Yeah,
any differences that you saw in that?
Yeah, obviously the academy team, we trained every morning. Mm-hmm. So it was like a special, like, if you made that team, you went to a different school and the whole team went to the same school. So instead of having like a PE credit, our PE credit was FC Dallas training. So we would train in the morning, shower in the locker room, and then head to school. We had late arrival. So that environment was like very, very professional. And at a young age, that helps you out a lot.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So training every day helps you like a lot, like I always said. And then obviously the competition, not just in games, but within the training, like nobody had a for sure spot in the weekend coming for like a roster spot. So it was a battle every day. So that makes you mature and grow real fast.
So the school, so was it like a actual school or like a special school for the players?
No, for FC Dallas, I know like other club teams have different things, but for FC Dallas it was like a regular high school, but they had like a partnership, so like a program with
accommodations.
So they're like, okay, FC Dallas players can get here late because they're training while other kids are at PE or at football or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah.
How was your first season at that academy team at U13?
Yeah, my U13, it was actually really well, really well. Like I think we got second in the league. We qualified for regionals and nationals and all that stuff. So it was a good season. I got my good share of goals and good share of assists.
Okay.
So
what are some things you learned, man, during that season? Seeing that you did well. Yeah. Is there any things that you learned coming out of that season?
Yeah. So my coach Chris Hayden, he's very experienced, very technical. His playing style is like kind of like mine. So what he helped me out in is like where to find the ball, because I'm the player that always wants the ball, so I'd run around and it wasn't really working. Like I'd run around and be like, yo, I'm not getting the ball, but I'm checking everywhere. But he's like, learn when to check, where to check, in behind their CDM shoulders, you know what I mean? And then from there you can do your thing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You don't have to start it from the center back and do your whole thing. Wall passes go up.
When must you check? For people listening out there, like when would you recommend someone like a midfielder checking in for the ball?
See, for me, you gotta surprise them. To be honest, you know what I mean. You see, obviously Messi's Messi, but you see Messi, people criticize him for walking, but he walks and then boom, out of nowhere he'll get the ball and pop, creates a chance. You know what I mean. So it's that type of style. Yeah, being very, very selective. Like if you go 5-10 minutes without getting it, it's okay. You know what I mean? Don't get stressed. Like the ball will come. Like if your team is all connected and they're playing the way that they're supposed to, the ball will come. You know what I mean? The game has to go through the attacking man. Has to.
Interesting. And I'm guessing that's something you learned early on during that U13 or?
Yeah. It was a struggle. It was like halfway through the season when I was like, dude, I'm not getting the ball. Like I want to create more. Like I know I can do better, but it's not really like me doing bad. It's just me not getting the ball to show what I can do. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
and that was like halfway through the season, and you still did good that season.
Yeah. I was still doing good. Like I still get my goals and stuff. But like whenever I learned when to check and when to turn, when to
whole new game.
Then I found my forwards easier. They were scoring. We started scoring more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
So after adapting to that way of playing, moving on to your next season, so I'm guessing from U13, is it U14 or U15?
15.
So it's from U13 to U15.
Yeah.
So now, and I'm guessing, how many years did you play U13?
Just one.
Just one, and then you moved up.
Yeah, and then I moved up.
So does like the whole team move up, or like everyone that's over the age of 13 move up, or do they still select players?
Basically, it's a tryout all over again.
All over again.
Obviously, the 18 that have been selected, they kind of not leeway, but but
they have some preferences.
They've been training. They know the system.
Yep.
They we know how to play with each other. So at tryouts is a little bit easier. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because usually how it was is like we all train, we do the drills or whatever, and then the last part of the session scrimmage against the people that are trying out versus the team that's already the team that's already on. So like you gotta perform. If not, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
they're gonna take
your spot. And how many players got their spot taken, throughout
that year?
Yeah.
I think it was only like one or two.
Yeah.
That honestly, that core group stayed.
Yep.
Stayed all throughout until U17, U19.
Yep. So it's kind of hard to really break in to the FC Dallas squad if you're not really in there from a young age. Right?
If you're not there from the get go, then it's really really hard to get in. But I mean, people have done it.
Yeah, people have done it. You can still do it. Okay. So then moving into U15 year now.
Yeah.
Okay. You're adapting to the way your coach is trying to hint at you to play. Being more selective of when to check of the spaces to move into.
Yeah.
How did you see your game change a little bit for the better during that season, or walk me through that season?
No, obviously every year I keep learning and I keep maturing, obviously. But this U15 year, there's a change of coach. So the U13 coach stays with the U13 stays with that age.
Yep.
U15 they transition to a new coach.
Mm-hmm.
So that coach, obviously the FC Dallas has the same platform, the same blueprint of how they want to play, but every coach is a tiny bit different on how you play or where do you play, maybe a long ball here and there,
Yep.
So
I'm guessing he probably, depending on the coaches, it might change the players, different positions too.
Yeah. So there's like I said, there's two or three guys or whatever that made the squad that weren't there last year, and then so now you're competing with them for playing time, and so so U15 was like a kind of a hit or miss with not the new coach, but the coach for the U15. So it was kind of hit or miss. So I was kind of bouncing back and forth and like starting, not starting. So it was kind of a weird year. Like every time I'd play, I'd get a goal or assist.
Yep.
But I'd still like next week I'd be like on the bench. So it's like it was a little bit confusing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
and I'm guessing it was different to U13 because U13 you were playing probably every game.
Yeah. U13 I was starting, playing 90 minutes.
How was that like? What was going through your mind at that time, man? Like seeing that you're not from playing every game. Now you're playing. You're still doing good. You're still scoring. You're still assisting. But then it's not really consistent. And at that age, man, we just want to play.
Yeah.
So what was really going through your mind?
So obviously, at that young age, it's hard to grasp. You know what I mean? You're not mature enough to know like everything happens for a reason and stuff like that. So you're stressing, you're struggling, and that shows in your game as well.
Mm-hmm,
so you could see like I was desperate to create something to prove to the coach, hey, I need that starting spot every single time. So sometimes you'd force something and then you get more stressed. You know what I mean? So it was hard to cope, especially at that age. Like not gonna lie, like at that age I wasn't really not like smart with it, but you know what I mean, like just mature enough to grasp that, like hey, relax, do your thing, just do the simple things. You know what I mean?
It's like so it's hard to be patient at that age.
Yeah, you just want results right then and there.
Exactly. Is there did your coach have any input on that? Like, did he tell you anything, when he saw that you were trying to prove yourself a little more and forcing some plays? Was there anything?
I mean, they would talk to me, but that year, like I said, it was weird. Like the coach really wouldn't give me like a for sure answer. Okay. Like he just kind of give me like an in general answer, or like, oh, just do a little bit better, or stuff like that. So it's like that's what would frustrate me a little bit more. Like, like tell me what to work on so I can work on it. You know what I mean? But he wasn't really.
Looking back at it now, do you think there's a reason, or do you think it was just the way he coached?
I feel like that's just the way he is. I mean, every coach is different. I'm not gonna blame him. I'm not saying it's a bad thing either. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I learned and I grew. I matured like insane amount after that year. You know what I mean? Really? I had to. You know what I mean? Like,
what are some other things that you improved in at that time? So first it was the space. You know, you were getting good at. And what are some other things?
No, that year I was really good at, you know, wherever I'm at, I'd ping and I'd find your foot. Oh. Really? So like I'd find the pass perfectly. You know what I mean? Like make a run and I'll find you for
sure. So how did you get to, you know, be that good with your passing, you know, and pinpointing those players? Was it something you did off besides training with the team?
Yeah.
You know, was it something you did on the side, or was it just you just had that naturally?
It's a little bit naturally, and watching soccer obviously helps out a lot. Like my favorite players were Iniesta, Xavi, Coutinho when he was at Liverpool. You know what I mean? Those special crafty players that could find the pass or that can find the shot when need to. So watching them growing up, like it helps out a lot.
It really helped. Okay. So it was the space. It was the distribution. Yeah. Anything? What else? What are some other things that you saw?
I mean, basically just that stuff. My game doesn't really change.
Yeah, it's just getting that time as well. Yeah. Okay. So then you played one season and then you moved up again, or you played?
Yeah. So in between that U15 U17 year, this Spain scout saw me play.
Oh.
And so, but since I had like an academy contract with FC Dallas, they weren't letting me go try out. So I was like, you know what? I want to go. So in between the coach and me, like we basically decided, okay, you're going to be cut. If you want to go, you're going to be cut because you can't go while you're under contract. So U17 year, I was still with FC Dallas, but not the academy team. I was with their premier team, which is like their B squad or whatever, like the select team. Like, you know what I mean? It still traveled. Like we still, you know, that premier team was insanely good. Like we'd scrimmage the academy team and beat them and stuff like that. So like it was like a back and forth battle. Like anybody could have taken anybody's spot. Really.
It was that competitive.
Yeah, it was that competitive. It was that like minimal stuff. Like it was that close in between you making it to academy or being put in the premier team. You know what I mean?
So not only was the training competitive on the academy team, but you competed against the premier players because they're fighting for a spot.
Yeah, because they want your spot as well.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So you got some interest in a Spanish team. Yeah. And then you decided to, you know, leave the academy team to try out, but then you were on the premier team. Yeah. What happened? What happened after you decided to try out?
So the summer before I started the U17 year with the premier team, Oscar Pareja, the coach of Orlando City. Yep. So I grew up with his son Diego Pareja, and that used to be my best friend, like growing up since like elementary or whatever. Like, yeah. So whenever I was around that age, like he knew about like I'm gonna go to Spain and stuff. So when he was the coach of FC Dallas of the first team, he was like, okay, you want to be ready at 16? You're gonna train with the first team
of FC Dallas.
Of FC Dallas.
Really?
So I was like, dude, that's insane. Yeah. So yeah, I think I got pictures of it on my Instagram.
Yeah. We're gonna show it. So okay, so wait. So did you end up trying out with the Spanish team?
Yeah. I'll get there.
Okay. So did you get the opportunity to train with the first team before you went to the tryouts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm getting it. So, you know, what was going through your mind, man, when the coach of FC Dallas was telling you, you know, come train with the first team? You know.
No, it was an opportunity of like crazy of a lifetime because obviously like how I said, you're gonna mature, you're gonna grow. The speed of play is insane. It's MLS, you know what I mean. You're playing against players that have played in Europe or have played in wherever they came from, like high speed, high intensity. So obviously that first week, bro, I was lost, lost. Like my first
talk to me about it. You know,
obviously you're playing with kids your age. The weight of the pass is the same. It's not as hard, but here they're pinging it at you. So you gotta control it. You gotta adjust. If you half a second you don't check your shoulder,
they're on you.
They're on you, Yeah, that first week it was tough.
Oh, it was tough, right?
Tough. So
and that's 16, right?
16. Yeah, 16.
Playing as grown men, bro.
Yeah, 16, about to turn 17. So
okay.
That whole summer I was training with them.
And the whole summer you trained?
Yeah, the whole summer basically until September. And then in September, that's when, so I go to Spain for a month.
Okay.
And I try out with Getafe.
Okay.
And so Getafe wanted to see me, and then some other teams, like smaller division teams like Fuenlabrada and Sede Guijuelo.
Yep.
So they're in the Segunda B division, so they're like third tier.
Mm-hmm.
But like Guijuelo, for example, they play against Madrid's B team, Atletico's B team, Getafe's B team. Okay. They're in the same conference as them, so it's like it's still high level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're playing against ballers. So I went to Getafe. They said, okay, good, we'll let you know, and then if not, then we're going to send you to Guijuelo. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I come back, I start the season with FC Dallas, the premier team, and then around November, December, they're like, hey, yeah, whenever you finish your FC Dallas season, come with us to play U19. For Guijuelo. Okay, so so Getafe was like, maybe you need a year more of experience, but in Spain, and then from there we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So, first thing I want to touch on was training with FC Dallas, right? Because I'm guessing it was the first time you had, first team experience, training with them.
Yeah.
Did it prepare you? Did it kind of prepare you for when you went to Spain?
Oh, for sure.
How? How did it prepare you? Talk to me about that.
It's just the professional environment, especially under Oscar Pareja. His mind, his everything. He knows the game. Yep. He knows how to treat his players. He knows how to get onto them in a positive way. You know what I mean? He'll break you down just to build you back up 10 times stronger. Yep. Like he's a great coach, one of the best coaches I've ever practiced with or played under. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
So and me knowing him personally since I was like little, like I looked up to him like another dad at some point. So like I'd stay at his house for like months or weeks and stuff like that. Yeah. They're good people. But like I said, the professional environment, you got the training starts at 8 a.m. A lot of the players are there at 6:30 eating breakfast with the team, getting treatment, getting stretches, like you know what I mean? So seeing that like makes me want to be that, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And follow their footsteps. Like okay, what is the highest paid player, the star of the play, the team? What is he doing? I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So that helped me grow as well and mature my game and notice that soccer isn't just pure talent, bro. You know what I mean?
It's a lot more to it.
It's a lot more. And I thought, me growing up, like me, because I had the talent. You know what I mean? I had the talent. I was a 10. I was a crafty one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was like, oh, with this, I'm good. Like I'll make it.
Yep.
But it's not
exactly.
It's way more to it.
I think that's a big misconception that a lot of players out there don't understand until they get a little taste of it, and then it's hard to realize, there's a lot more to this.
And then it either makes or breaks you. You either put your head down and do it, or don't do it, and then you stay where you're at.
Or you crumble under the pressure.
So
you trained the whole summer, and then you went to Spain.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the cultural differences. Just the cultural differences in and of itself. Like, how was that? Cause how was that for you? Trying to adapt to that.
Yeah, obviously the time zone, the time change kind of hit me hard. Like their sleeping schedule and stuff like that. And obviously, over there, like there's a nutritionist, there's a psychologist, there's everything for you. So I mean, it helps out in the transition. But like my eating habits changed. My sleeping habits changed, which is crucial. My gym habits changed. I used to never go to the gym. I was like, I don't need this. You know what I mean? Like, you can see me. I'm still skinny. But, like, I was way more skinnier back then. I was like, I don't need this. My feet I'll move around them, and that's it. But nah, bro. They do this, and I fly. And I was like, okay, I need the gym. You know what I mean?
So you said your eating habits. How did you change your eating habits? Like, what were you eating before, and then when you went to Spain, what changed? Like, what were they trying to get you to eat, and like, what's the routine about?
So I mean, here in the States, my family, we always cook. We always eat pretty well. You know what I mean? But obviously, there's like lazy days here and there, exactly. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? But over there, they don't let you have no lazy days.
Really?
No, nothing. Everything's counted. Everything's
really
proportional to your body type, your body weight, your body mass. Everything. That weekly they'd like measure us and like how do you say it in English? Grasa, like the fat.
The fat. So they measure like how much fat compared to muscle mass and all that.
Weekly. Weekly, and they weigh you in before training, after training, every day. And like if you're not in where you're supposed to, then it's a fine.
Oh, they fine you.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like,
interesting,
oh gosh.
Man.
So it's like,
yeah. So okay, so what were they making you eat? Like, you can't even recall like some of the foods that they would make you eat.
I mean, it wasn't really nothing crazy, to be honest. It was, since I was so skinny, I had to bulk up. So it was like a lot of chicken and rice, a lot of red meats, a lot of fish, salmon, stuff like that. So a lot of things to high protein and high carbs, but not overdo it to where like you get bloated and stuff. So
exactly. Okay. But and I'm guessing you guys had like in-house cooks or whatever. You go to this, like, how was that going?
Yeah.
Like, did you have to prepare your own food, or was it prepared for you? Like,
no, they would prepare it for me. So basically, I stayed at a house with 4 players.
Okay.
So it was me and 3 others, and it was like a family. Like a mom and dad were there, but they're like,
I see.
They're like house kids or whatever.
Yeah.
That's close by to where we train and stuff. So the wife would basically stay at home, and that's her job. Like she'll cook, she'll clean for us and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Yep. Okay. And then, so you said you're sleeping habits.
Yeah. So
talk to me about that. Like, what changed about that?
Yeah, in Spain they love their naps, bro.
Okay.
They love their naps. Like even in stores, like everything from like 2 to 4 is closed because that's nap time, bro.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
like,
crazy.
Like any like little convenience store you go to, it'd be closed from 2 to 4, around 2 to 4.
Yeah, not all of them, but
but
most of them they'll be like, from 2 to 4 it's my lunch and nap time. So
really?
I'll open back up at 4. Yeah, or like even restaurants would do that. Like they open in the morning and then 2 to 4 lunch and nap, and then they'll open up back again at 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish the U.S. had that. The U.S. doesn't operate that way.
Yeah,
right?
so my body got used to it. My body got used to it fast, especially after 2-3 hour long session, however long the session was that morning.
Yep.
You come home, you eat a big meal, you're gonna fall asleep, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had nothing else to do, so I was like, I'd rather rest, and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So take a good little nap, wake up, watch some soccer or whatever, and then eat, and then go to sleep again and do it all over again. Yeah.
And then you were under what? You were training with?
So I started with their U19s. So it was my senior year of high school, actually.
Okay.
So I was doing high school online. This was 2019. Yeah.
Yep.
I was doing high school online, and so I finished high school that way. So after training, after the nap, I'd finish. I'd do some school, and then classes, So
okay.
But yeah.
Interesting. Now you talked about the weight room, like the working out change.
Yeah.
So, and you said at first you weren't really working out, right?
Yeah,
you weren't really taking it serious. So now what happened? What made you take, the weight room serious? Like what were they making you do, and how was it?
No, it's because in high school, so let me backtrack a little bit. But when you quit academy, you can play high school soccer. So I played high school soccer in like my sophomore and junior year.
Okay.
And dude, that team was insane. But obviously when there was weight room days, I'd be like, my back hurts or something like that. Yep. So you know what I mean? I was like that type of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you can't do that at a pro level.
Nope.
You can't do that. So me learning the right form and stuff like that, like that's what I struggled with, because I was like, man, like, just give me the big boy weight and I'm gonna get big. But it's form over weight, you know what I mean? And that's what I had to learn. And so
interesting.
But yeah,
did you see it help you?
For sure.
It helps you a lot.
For sure. I got faster. I got stronger. Like turning and putting your arm here, so they don't come into you and stuff like that.
Especially as a midfielder, man, you need to.
You're getting contact all the time. So like
50-50
50-50 balls, like I would stay instead of falling over all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, it helped my game grow exponentially, bro.
What was your favorite muscle to work out? Because you have some guys who likes the legs day, you have some guys who like shoulders, chest. What was your go-to?
Probably back.
Back. Okay.
Back in chest.
Okay. Back in chest.
Back in chest was cool.
So so you were training with the U19s.
Yeah. So
Getafe U19s.
So I went with, so when I went back, I went with Getafe for another month, and then from there I went to Guijuelo.
Yeah. And Guijuelo. So what, were they attached? Like it was,
I mean,
Getafe. Like, how did it have the relationship?
It's not really like a B team. They just kind of have a partnership, and the agent that I had or whatever knew both. So he was the contact, basically.
So when you went to, I can't say
Guijuelo.
Guijuelo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
So
Guijuelo.
when you went over there, like, did you see any difference between what they were teaching you and the way you were playing and training at Getafe compared to that other club?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Getafe is Getafe, bro. You know what I mean? La
Exactly.
Liga team, like
Exactly.
they have history.
Yep.
They're very, very organized. And then in Guijuelo is a third tier team, and it's in a tiny town, like tiny town, like.
Okay.
Probably like Orlando's bigger than that town or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. So
How far away was it from Getafe?
so it's 3 hours towards
Oh,
Portugal. So
okay.
from Madrid or Getafe.
Yep.
You drive 3 hours, you get to Guijuelo.
Yep.
You drive another 3 hours, you get to Portugal, basically.
Oh,
So it was like
really?
right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
it's
I'm guessing you had to live with, like, you live somewhere else, right?
yeah,
Or-
but it was basically the same setup, like a house with
Yep.
with the 3 players or whatever.
Yep. How was it? Okay, I want to ask you about Getafe. So how was getting into, because you talked about when you first went to FC Dallas.
Yeah.
You one of the things that you wanted to do off rip was build some relationship with the players there
Yeah.
to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
How was trying to build some relationship, or was that still a priority to you when you went to Getafe?
When Getafe when I was at Getafe, it was
Yeah.
a little bit harder because they think they're big ballers already. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
we're from Getafe, bro. Like,
Mhm.
you're coming in from
From the USA.
from the
Yeah,
USA
exactly,
to
yep.
try to take my spot.
Nah.
Hell no. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it was tough. It was tough.
Yep.
So that honestly that took a toll on the way that I was playing. Like, I tried to do a 1-2 and I'd be wide open, and sometimes
they wouldn't trust you.
They wouldn't trust me, and they wouldn't pass
you
me
the
the
ball,
ball.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
So it's like.
yep.
Yeah, and like obviously in FC Dallas, I was always taking free kicks, corner kicks, and everything. And then there's a free kick, and I'm over there, and they look at me like, "Who are you, bro?
Yeah.
Like, get out of here." You know what I mean? So I'm
Yep.
like, "Let me take one so I can prove myself."
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
whatever, you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. But they never gave you that chance.
Yeah, they
huh?
didn't really trust me. But the good thing about Guijuelo is like that team's a little bit more humble, right? So they're a little bit more open. Like,
Yep.
okay, cool. This dude's from the U.S. coming here to help us out.
Yeah,
Give him the ball.
Yep,
Give him the
absolutely.
ball. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
all right.
yeah.
So what was it, like a language barrier, or did you know Spanish?
No, I mean, my mom's Colombian and my dad's
Oh,
Venezuelan.
okay,
So
man.
in my house, I grew up.
You're
I
speaking
learned
Spanish in the household, you know?
I learned Spanish first. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'm fluent.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's perfect.
Bilingual guy. You
Yeah,
know. Okay.
yeah.
So language wasn't really a big problem then.
Nah.
Okay.
Obviously, there's Spain Spanish is a little bit different in like the way they
Yeah,
grammatically
it's a little more
say.
formal,
Yeah,
you know?
it's
Yeah.
more formally. It's more, but
Yeah.
it's
About the same.
thing.
You can understand it. You can speak it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said like Guijuelo.
Guijuelo. Yeah. There you go.
All right. So when you're over there now, the players are trusting you a little bit more. They're a little more open.
Yeah.
How did that help you grow as a player, right? Compared to
Yeah.
the way you were at Getafe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you're not as stressed because they give you the confidence, like, okay, go do your thing. You
Yep.
came here for a reason. You know what I mean? You came
absolutely.
here to help us out.
Absolutely, man.
So it obviously that gives me confidence to do my thing.
Do your
you know?
thing, do your thing,
So
yeah.
I mean, it was an easier transition than going from Getafe.
So, and how many seasons did you play at Guijuelo?
So I played one. So I started with the U19s.
Yep.
That only lasted a month because after that month, they're like, "Yo, go to the first team."
Oh.
Yeah, so they put me to train with the first team every day, but then in the weekends, if I didn't make the first team roster,
You
then
would
I
play
play the U19s.
Wow.
Yeah, so I made the roster for the pros for the first team 3 times.
Yep.
But in those 3 times, we were playing like a lower seeded team.
Yep.
So I was like, I'm for sure gonna get in. Like they'll get 2-3 goals in or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
They'll
and then they'll
dominate,
push
and
you
then I'll go in.
Mhm.
All three games that we were supposed to win,
Yeah.
we ended up losing.
Oh, no.
so I never went in.
What?
Yeah, I had the worst luck.
Yeah.
Worst luck. So like I'm sitting there warming up with the
Yeah.
big ass crowd
Yep.
with the vibes
Yep,
in
exactly.
Spain,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
the fans,
So it's completely
crazy.
different,
Like dang, I'm about to make my debut.
Yeah.
And then, boom, we get scored on, and I'm like, no way, no
Damn.
way, he's gonna make me debut to try to
Yep,
impact
exactly,
the game
exactly.
like that.
Win
Like
it like that,
like
yeah.
a coach wouldn't want to risk that. You know what I mean?
It's understandable.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Yep,
Which is
yep.
understandable. Like, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had the worst luck, but I mean, training with the first team every day, it was beneficial for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. So first month, man. First month.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you got the call up the first time to train with the first team, I'm
Yeah.
guessing were you kind of used to that type of playing style and intensity? Because you trained with FC Dallas first team.
Yeah.
And you train with Getafe U19, which is, pretty high level as well.
Yeah.
Was there any differences you saw at Guijuelo's first team, or was it, just trying to...
No, it's because Guijuelo's first team had, like, Guijuelo's, like, either you're young and upcoming or you're coming from a big team ready to retire.
Okay, it's like very experienced, very like a veteran type player.
Yeah, so that helps out the young guys because like we had a player that played for Atletico, we had a player that played for like Salamanca, and we had a player that played for like other teams like Villarreal and stuff like that. So it's like learning from them is crazy.
It's crazy. What are some things you would like to share that you learned or that stuck with you during your time at Guijuelo's first team?
So
these players?
When I was heading towards Guijuelo, I wasn't really so much of, because the coach really didn't play with the center attacking mid. He'd play with the 4-4-2. So the two center mids are like more holding. Like one can box to box, one holds, but it's not the same as I was used to. I was the 10. You know what I mean?
You were just purely attacking.
Purely attacking. So I had to change my ways, and so one of the center mids was like, "Yo, you need to learn, like, relax, always open up, like, you know what I mean? Do what the coach wants. It's not how you were anymore." So that I was trying to grasp, and but like I said, like those experienced players, like they're humble. They were humble too. So they brought me to the side. We would watch film. We would do this. We would do that. Like they go extra to help me grow. For sure, and make me feel like at home, so I can fit.
So from that entire experience, and you said you played one season there, right?
Yeah. So I signed the contract, and it was for basically a season and a half because I came in. Because I was at Getafe for a month, and then with the U19s for a month, I was basically like saying, "Oh, half of the season's done, so you're gonna do a year and a half."
Ah, okay.
So
yep.
Yeah, so I signed a year and a half, so I basically played that year and a half.
So after that year and a half, man, oh wait, one more question about the Guijuelo. So when you got called for the 18, I'm guessing it's 18 for the first team, right?
Yeah.
What's going through your mind, man? Like, I'm guessing, like, you call up the parents, like, what did they say? Like, how did the family take it? Like, talk to me about that whole experience.
No, I remember because me and my family, everybody from my family, were really, really tight. We got a big group chat, right? So,
wow.
Yeah, it's like 19 of us in a group chat.
That's pretty cool, man.
We're texting each other every day and stuff like that. But, yeah, so I remember I texted a group chat, and that group chat blew up, bro. It blew up. So I got FaceTimes from everybody.
Wow,
like, like my uncle started crying, my mom started crying, like, no way. Like, it's actually, you know what I mean? All this hard work is actually
it's
paying off.
It's paying off,
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that year and a half contract, it was up. What was next? What was the next step?
See, this is where, my bad luck comes in again.
Okay.
So, the owner of the Guijuelo, basically the last month, there was like money missing in some people's checks, and like some people's checks were late and stuff like that. So and then so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna get up and leave without renewing anybody's contract.
Oh no, with the owner?
Yeah, basically the owner. So then a new owner comes in, and he brings his people, and since I never made that debut, he's like, we don't know you, basically.
Damn.
So he was like, yeah. And so my agent was like, okay, let's try to find another team and stuff. And it was really hard because I didn't make that debut. Like, if I would have stepped on for 10 seconds, it's under my name, like, hey, you debuted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like, I'm like struggling, like, yo, what? Like, why me? Like, why always me? Like, what's going on, bro? Like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? But, so I was like, you know what? Since I got family from Colombia. And one of my cousins knew an agent in Colombia. He was like, get your Colombian passport and come try over here. So I was like, you know what? I think that's the move. I think that's the move. So I go back home to Dallas after my contract runs out or whatever. I go back home. I'm chilling with the fam. And then I go back to FC Dallas. I'm like, yo, can I train here again, basically? So they let me train with FC Dallas and North Texas, which is their second team.
So FC Dallas, you were training with the first team or the academy team?
It was with their first team and with their second team, basically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they let me come back in and train.
Both of them?
Yeah. So whenever...
Was it still the same coach? I forgot his name, but the one that
Oscar Pareja. Yeah. So it was him for a little bit, but then he leaves. Before he leaves, he was like, you know what, you're doing really, really good. We might just just keep you here and sign you here. And then
at FC Dallas when you came back.
Yeah, at FC Dallas. So I was like, yo, this is home, perfect. This is my childhood club. Like I'm down.
Absolutely, man.
And then he gets up and he gets an offer to go coach Cholos de Tijuana in Liga MX.
Yep.
Yes. So
wow.
Yeah. Wow. So he leaves, and then a new coach comes in, which is the same coach, Luchi Gonzalez, which is the same coach that I was at U17 year, where it's like, hey, okay. I want to leave. Yeah. So we kind of bumped heads, and So he was basically the one that cut me from academy, and then he was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna sign you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but did he have like any valid reason, or was it just because a little bad blood because of the past?
Honestly, I never asked. I never know. I didn't. Each their own. What I mean? Yeah. Each their own. I don't blame him. You know what I mean? He's a great coach. I'm not gonna lie. He's a great coach. You know what I mean? But every coach has their players. Every coach has their opinions and stuff. So yeah. So it's like, bro, like I could for years I couldn't catch a break. Yeah. I couldn't catch a break. It was crazy.
Okay, so another coach comes in. Yeah. Says he's not gonna sign you. Yeah. Did you decide to go to Colombia during that? After that happened, or what played out after that?
So basically, since the new coach came in, I wasn't training with the first team, so I trained with the second team. They're like, you can train with the second team. So during the process of me getting my Colombian passport, I was training with the second team. Okay. And whenever I got my Colombian passport, I was gone.
You're gone. Okay.
So around September of the next year.
Yep.
Like that's where I go to Colombia and try out for Millonarios.
What year was it? Was that 2019?
2019, yeah, 2019. So
COVID's coming up. Let's go. Keep on going.
That's where I mean I can't catch a break, bro. So
we go to Colombia. To Colombia. Talk to me about that, man. What's going on over there?
And before that, I didn't go to Colombia since I was 11 months. So I was like excited to go back, see family and stuff like that. Like I still have family over there.
Yep. From your mom.
From my mom's side, from my mom's side. So I'm like, I'm excited, bro. Like I feel like this is gonna be it. You know what I mean? The vibes are immaculate over there. Everything's beautiful. The food is great. Like the playing style still fits me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let's go do this thing. Yep. And so again,
Colombian food is good, man. Like, if you haven't had Colombian food. You need to have Colombian food. Yes. It's busting. Okay, continue. My bad.
For sure. You got to put people on.
I have to.
But, so I get there and they're like, okay, we're going to get you your own personal nutritionist, your own personal psychologist. Okay. We're going to do this like the right way. Yep. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So we get everything done and then I get a trial at Millonarios, which is my hometown, my parents, my mom's hometown team club. So I'm like, dude, if I make it here, that's badass. You know what I mean? It's great. So so I go. There's like a bunch of kids again, like 100 and whatever. Wow. I make every single cut until the last one.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Wait. So how old were you? Were you like?
I was
18, 17?
18 turning. Well, basically I turned 19.
So you're basically 19.
Because I got there in September and my birthday's September 20th. So I turned 19.
Yeah, basically 19. And so you were trying out for what? Academy spot or like first team spot?
It was their U20 spot.
Okay, yeah.
Which is their second team basically before their first team.
And hundreds of kids still?
Yeah, everybody, yeah.
And so how many cuts were there? Like 4 cuts?
I think it was like 5 or 6.
5 cuts total. Yeah. And then you said you made it up until the last cut.
Yeah, the fifth one, and then it was either basically me or this other kid, and this other kid.
Between the two of you guys.
Basically this other kid's resume was a little bit better than mine because he actually made a debut in Colombia. And they're like, you didn't make a debut. You're just coming from academy. He has a little bit more experience, and he's from here. He knows the culture and stuff like that. So you know what? I'm gonna go with him. So I'm like, yeah, it's okay. So then, it's crazy how like God works, right? Absolutely. Because at FC Dallas, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit again. So at FC Dallas, there's a personal trainer, like a physical trainer that helped me out in the gym. Okay. Coach Profe Felipe. Yep. Dude, I owe him my life.
Shout out, man. Yeah. Shout out to Felipe right now.
Yeah. So, he was at FC Dallas, and then he's from Medellin. He's from Colombia too. Okay. So my team's from Bogota. So from Bogota to Medellin is like a 3-hour flight or whatever, right? But after FC Dallas, he goes back to Medellin, and he's at a team over there, and he becomes the U20 coach over there. It's for Envigado. Mm-hmm. And so I saw one of his Facebook posts, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit him up and be like, hey coach, how you been, just to see where it goes.
Yep.
And then he was like, yeah, I saw you're here, basically, like what's the deal with you? And I was like, nah, I just got cut. Basically, I just got cut. He was like, okay, if you can find a flight for like tomorrow, you train Monday. This was a Saturday. He goes, I was like, oh gosh, like I gotta look for a flight right now.
Exactly. And it was like a 3-hour flight, you said, or
yeah, it's a 3 hour. It's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Okay.
But to find a flight and pack my stuff and go to Medellin, yeah. So luckily, I had family in Medellin too.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so I had a place to stay. I had everything like set up.
Yep.
It was just getting there.
Yep.
So I told my mom, I told my grandma, and they found a flight like this, bro.
Wow,
like they're good at that.
Shout out to the family, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got that flight.
They got that flight.
You were able to make it over there.
I got there Sunday at like 8 p.m. or whatever, 7 p.m. And Envigado trains at 5 in the morning.
Oh my!
So I was
goodness.
like, get
5 a.m.
Yeah, get there, set up real quick,
and
eat and go to sleep, bro. Eat and go to sleep because you gotta be at the field at 5.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Snap. Okay, so you make it over there. You know, it was a little bit unlucky at the last club, but you're trying. You're trying to make it work. You're 19 at the time, and. So you went to bed what time? You went to bed like what? Like 10 p.m.?
It was hard to sleep too.
Oh, exactly.
It was hard to sleep. So man. I was like 11, 12 to be honest.
Yeah, just dozing off and waking back up because you can't really fall asleep.
Yeah, I wake up and it's still dark outside. I was like, no way, bro. No way. What am I doing?
Oh my gosh. So you woke up. I'm guessing you have to wake up at like, how far was the field from your house? Like.
Nah, it was like one bus ride. It wasn't bad.
So you woke up like an hour before, at 4 a.m. 4 a.m.
Like 4:15, 4:30.
Yep. And then you get to the fields, man.
Yeah.
What's going through your head, because you're trying to, like, in your head. I'm guessing at the time, right? Okay, I'm not gonna guess for you. What was going on through your head during that time?
No, I'm not as nervous or as anxious because I got a coach that's already seen me play when I was younger, and he likes the way that I play, and he plays with the same system basically that I fit into. So everything was playing out pretty well.
Yep.
I just got to see how the level is over here and if I can click and stuff like that. But Colombians are loving the vibes. Like I said, they're immaculate. So like they're so welcoming. You know what I mean? I felt at home. I felt like I've known them for like years.
Oh, okay.
So they brought me in. I still talk to them every day.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean?
And I'm guessing it was Division 1. Same. First. Okay.
Yeah, it was still first division in Colombia. Their U20s is the first division for U20s or whatever. But
so you were trying out for the U20s team.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get there.
Yeah, he was like, if you want to make it to the first team, nobody comes in and just jumps to the first team. You gotta earn that.
Yep.
So he was like, you're still 19. You fit into the U20s. So you're gonna train with me, because he was a coach for the U20s. He was like, you're gonna train with me and prove to everybody that you
deserve that spot. Okay.
So I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, I'll give you this opportunity, but it's not gonna come easy. I'm not gonna give it to you just because I know you.
Exactly.
So
you gotta earn it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I'll prove it. You know what I mean? I know what I'm capable of. I got you.
Absolutely. So you make it over there. Okay. Walk me through, like, how they go about the training sessions. Like, is there anything they do before trainings? They like speeches. They eat something. Like, how did that go?
Nah, I mean, since it's so early, I don't think anybody really eats breakfast.
Exactly,
you know
bro. 5 a.m.
like you just wake up and go. But what's it called? The warm up is good stretch. A good dynamic stretch. Very very technical warm up too. It's a warm up with the ball. And then you go into some drills. Like he would. I like the way he coaches, because for like 30 minutes, it's defenders with defenders working on defending tactics, midfielders with midfielders. Like, we divide the field.
Yep.
Midfielders work on midfielder stuff, forwards work on forward stuff. And then later on, we combine it all together. And then it's flowing, you know what I mean? So it was cool. It was a cool environment to be in.
And you were training with the midfielders?
Yeah.
And then, what was their playing style like? were you an attacking midfielder again, or were you center midfielder?
I was kind of more like an 8, like a box to box.
Okay.
Because that's what they
box to
needed.
box.
Because they had 110 that's, bro, crafty, nasty, bro.
yeah.
Like, nobody was taking his spot. Nobody was taking his spot.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I will play. If
Wherever
I have to
you
play,
need to play.
At this point, if you need me at goalie, I'll play goalie, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he was like, no, 8 like box to box, you can do that.
Okay.
You can do that. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yep.
So I mean,
so what are were some of the practices a little different than what you were used to? Being that it was midfielders working with the midfielders.
Yeah.
What are some things that you were trying to get used to?
So like in FC Dallas and stuff, it was organized. Like all 3 countries had been organized, right?
Absolutely.
But it's just a little bit different in the tactical ways that they each go about things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and then Colombia, it's a lot more physical. It's a lot more fighting. It's a lot more, because passionate. Like,
yeah. Is
in
it
Colombia,
like similar to Brazil?
Because in Colombia or South America in general, if you don't make it pro, then you're nobody. You know what I mean?
So it's like the mentality too.
The mentality is crazy.
Okay.
Like this is my bread and butter. This is my how I'm gonna live my life. Like you're not gonna take that from me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Is that warrior mentality?
Dude, guys are flying into tackles like nasty to their own teammates. Like it's intense, bro. It's intense.
Yeah, I'm guessing. So in FC Dallas, it was more passing. It wasn't really as physical. Was it a similar thing in Spain as well?
Yeah, in Spain it's just smooth. Obviously, it's a lot more passionate than the U.S.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, but it's not as crazy as it was in Colombia, right? So I'm guessing you had to get used to that physicality.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took you before you got that same? Or I'm not gonna say you didn't have the warrior mentality, but before you adapted to that style of play.
The good thing is that I feel like I already had it in me because of my culture, my background, my family, the way they're so passionate. You know what I mean? So I hate losing. Like I don't even want to lose playing cards, bro. You know what I mean? Like
playing dominoes, man.
Yeah,
you can't lose.
Like Uno, I hate losing in Uno, bro.
Uno.
I hate losing in Uno. But so I already had that in me. So I'm like, yo, all right, you're gonna go into me like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same to you harder.
Bet. You know what I mean? Watch.
Okay.
But but it was a healthy though. Like after the training session, everybody's shaking each other's hands and no beef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was cool.
Yep. So how long did you spend at that club? So you made the U20.
Yeah.
And you played how long did you?
So I was there in basically February, and then March of 2020 is when the season starts.
Oh yeah.
But then March of 2020 is COVID. So I did all preseason.
Yeah.
And then the week before COVID starts, I trained 1 week with the first team. And then I played one scrimmage. We won. I did good. I played half of each half basically because it was a scrimmage. You can go in and out, just trying people out and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did really good. And then that Monday they're like, "Hey guys, we gotta stay home."
No, COVID comes.
And I was like, yo, I just signed this 1 year contract. What's going on?
Exactly.
What's going on? No way. So
yeah, talking about that. So COVID comes, you have to stay home. Like, did you stay in Colombia? Did you go back?
So I got locked in Colombia, bro.
You got locked in Colombia,
and Colombia's rules for COVID were insane.
What was some
insane.
like,
so basically, like you had like your driver's license or whatever, your ID.
Yeah.
The last number of your ID decided what day you can go outside, and it could only be to the grocery store, to emergency, or to like doctor's visit, or to an appointment of such sort. Yeah. So I had every Thursday, bro. Every Thursday I can walk to the corner and get something and get some fresh air. If not, you just gotta stay inside, bro. Yeah.
Every Thursday is the only time you could come outside.
Yeah, every Thursday.
So I'm guessing you couldn't really do much of the fitness that you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, I couldn't go outside and run like how people could have here. You know what I mean? So our training sessions, like we had Zoom training sessions, and like you had to do it inside the apartment basically, or
what did you guys do?
It was just like a bunch of technical drills, like with the ball and stuff obviously like a lot of stretching, mobility, strengthening. Like everybody would have some type of weights. Like if you didn't have weights, you'd load up a backpack with books and like do squats with books. You had to find a way.
That sounds like an idea.
Yeah. So like you had to find a way. So And that humbled me insanely,
Really?
insanely, because
Talk
like,
about that, man.
because in the U.S. here you can get whatever you want whenever you want.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The opportunities here and everything here, like you can get whatever you want whenever you want. And over there, there's nothing, bro. Like there's nothing. So it's like I had to go find my own weights. I had to go see if I can order weights from Amazon or something. And then
you have to be just fully dependent on yourself, right? And just be crafty.
Yeah, I had shoes as cones. We were dribbling through shoes and juggling against like wall passes and you know stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Doing the most that you can with
what you got,
with what you got,
and the situation that you're in.
Yeah, so it's like summer during COVID, so I was there from March until August, training like that in Zoom and bulking up. Like it helped me though, because I was skinny and I bulked up nasty. Like, so since I wasn't running as much, I was just eating what I was supposed to be eating and lifting and then doing little tiny drills. So I bulked up crazy.
Absolutely.
So that helped me out. So it's a blessing in disguise, right? And so
August comes.
Yeah, August comes, and the coach was like, "Yo, if you can find a way to go back home, find a way, because they canceled the league for a year." So I was like, okay, that's fine. And then after that year comes, we'll come back and we'll assess what we can do. Like we'll see, like if you renew or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? We still have you in our plan.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I go home, but the only way to go home was a humanitarian flight. Like, yeah. So it's like an emergency only or whatever flight. And somehow, I don't know how my parents got one. I don't know how. Like they applied and I got it. So luckily I could go back home, and at home I got a big backyard, so I'd still train with them in Zoom, but I have a bigger yard, so I can move, I can do my thing and stuff. And then here in the States, you know, anybody could go to a park and shoot and stuff and work on their own.
And run and all that
so
stuff.
That's what I was doing. So I was staying fit and stuff.
But still no group sessions. You couldn't go anywhere and train with nobody.
No.
It was just
I mean, I trained with one of my best friends from high school, Robbie. So me and him would train together. So that helped out too.
All right.
But
so when did the trainings, like the Zoom trainings, like end? Like,
so it basically came to end when they went Zoom until December, but I went until October. Because in October they're like, they canceled the league, not just this year, but the next
following
year too.
year.
Yeah, so the whole Colombian, they're just like, everything's canceled, because theirs is from basically like February until, you know, September, whatever, those months or whatever. So they're like, this one's already done, the next one's coming, and it's looked like it's getting worse. So we're just gonna cancel it. So I'm like, my contract runs out in December. What are you talking about, bro? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so
what happens after that, man?
So basically my contract terminated, right? They're like, we want you to come back, but there's no money, there's no opportunities here. It's better if you stay over there and find a way there and train, because there's more space. You're not stuck and only can come outside for Thursdays. Like, you're open over there. So it's mentally, physically, it's better for you to stay at home. You know what I mean? We just want the best for you. Like, sorry, like, you know, we can't control this. So I was like, bro, I knew this was the opportunity, but then COVID happens, right? So I'm like, okay, so now I'm unemployed. I can't move around. Everything's canceled. I can't go train. So I was like, at this moment in October of 2020, I was like, I'm retiring. It's not for me. It's not for me.
All right.
It's not for me. I tried. It's bad luck, and it's not for me. Like, I was mentally down bad, bro. Down bad. I was like, yeah, it's not for me. And then, but I you know, I'll still train, I'll still go play, like, whatever. Like here in the States, here in the States, like, some pickups started opening up and stuff like that. So like, I'd go play and stuff. Okay, like, I still love the game. You know what I mean? But I'm
professionally, like, competitive wise.
I was like, it's probably not. It's not for me. Like, I know I could have made it. But circumstances, coaching wise, COVID wise, stuff like that. Like,
but I feel like a lot of players, all of us, we go through that, mental challenge. You know, at a time. You know, we feel like it's just unlucky. We're just unlucky. It's, you know, one thing after another. It's just not meant for us. So, but then something happens.
So this is where it gets good. So all of November and half of December, I was working at Walmart as a cart pusher. So I was like pro athlete to Walmart cart pusher, bro. Like, I was bad, bro, down bad. Like, Like, respect to the people that do that, because I was doing it in the snow, in the rain. It was like in the cold months of Texas. So I was like, dude, this is awful. Like, I don't want to be this. So one of my friends, Anthony Powell, he was playing professional indoor, and so with the Dallas Sidekicks, and so he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, I seen you've been training on your own. What are you doing?" I was like, "Bro, I'm done." Like, you know what I mean? He was like, "Come train with us, at least just to stay fit. Let's see what happens." Absolutely. I was like, "You know what? Cool. It's a different game and stuff like that. I'll try it out." Right?
Yep.
But I mean, growing up, I played futsal with City Futsal, so like indoor and futsal is kind of similar. So the transition, the adaptation, it was pretty smooth. It was pretty easy.
Really?
Yeah. So I fit in perfectly.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, like, you know, all your life you played 11v11, right? And then now moving into is 7v7.
It's 5 and a goalie. So
5 and is 6v6. Oh my gosh. So but you were already used to it.
Yeah, sort of, because in indoor, you obviously it's like a hockey rink with the walls.
Okay.
Right, so the ball doesn't go out.
Oh, there's no out of bounds.
Yeah, there's no out of bounds, so it's a different game, bro.
It's just constantly going on.
Constantly, bro.
When does it stop? Like when?
So it's 4 quarters of 15 minutes.
Okay.
Halftime of 15 minutes as well. Each team gets 2 timeouts per half or per game.
Per game.
Yeah, per game. So you get basically 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half, or both in the second half. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
wow.
But yeah, it's a different game, because like it's basically when you're on the ball, it's basically it's 5v5, but it's basically like 7v5, because you can pass it off the wall, like, you know what I mean, like a defender can't really cover everything, like how you
can in so in an 11v11 game.
Yeah, so it's a different game to learn because of the walls.
Interesting. I never thought about the wall aspect.
Yeah, so like it's basically like this table is round, like for example, the goal is the ball. Yeah. And if you can't shoot directly, then you just hit the wall here, it bounces to your teammate, and he can get a tap in. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's a crazy game to read, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go train. Yeah. Cool. And then they're like, yo, you're a good player. Within 2 weeks, you're a good player. Our home opener is December 3rd, January 3rd, and it was December 28th. It's like, if you sign now, you can register to play the home opener. Wow. So I was like, you know what? Let's just sign. It's money, it's income. I don't have to work at Walmart. Exactly. You know, I'm doing what I love. Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Yep. But it was weird because they needed defenders. Oh. So I played defender. Basically, you play like a 2-2-1, right? And but you're constantly moving, you're constantly rotating. Like, everybody's everywhere basically. But they needed defenders, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just sign and play defender, whatever. Like, I played CDM, so it's kind of the same. And then what's it called? So yeah, I had a good rookie season. I got rookie of the year for that team. And from there, my life changed, bro. Like, yeah, it changed. So
from that rookie season, like, what changed? Like, you played that entire season. How did you do that season?
So that season, I didn't get a single goal or assist, to be honest. But every time I stepped in, I had the best goal to minute ratio, like, against. Like, they wouldn't score.
Yep. Oh, that's good. When I was and you're playing, you're doing your job, man.
Yeah. As a defender, I mean, I did my job, right?
Yep.
And so like, defense went up, like, my style of play changed a little bit, but it helped me, grow in a different aspect. That, you know what I mean? As a center attacking mid, my whole life, I wouldn't drop back to defend. Yeah. But now you have to defend.
Now you have to. Know what I mean?
So it's like, I grew. And so that season ended. Then in the summer, you just kind of train on your own, and it picks back up next November or whatever, basically for preseason. But since I had a good year, in September of 2021, the futsal national team is preparing themselves to go to the World Cup, because they qualified for the World Cup. They qualified in March. Okay. And so since I had a good year, they called me up for the last camp prior to selecting the squad to the World Cup.
National team. U.S. national team.
USA national team. Yep. So, yeah, I'm like, no way, bro. Like,
no way.
This time a year ago, I was thinking about retiring, and I was a Walmart cart pusher. Now I'm being selected to the U.S. national team to maybe play a World Cup. Yep. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. So when they called you up, how was the selection process? Like, did you go in,
so
try it out?
yeah, so I think there was 20 in that camp.
Pool, yeah, okay.
In the camp. In the pool, there's like 400, 500 players or whatever. It's crazy. And then in the camp there was 20. They selected 20, and out of that 20, only 14 can go.
Wow.
Yeah, and 3 of those, no, I think it's 16, and 3 of those have to be goalies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's basically like 13 spots.
Yeah, 13 spots. So, like I said, I played futsal growing up, but it wasn't really structured like how the national team is. And so I had to learn their movements fast. I had to know when to check, when to move, step on the ball. You can't receive the ball with the inside of your foot like outside, like outdoor. You have to step on it. It's a lot of soul rolls, a lot of different movements. The way your body moves is different. So I had to pick that up fast and read off of the other players where they're moving. I got to move into the open space and stuff. So I had the first day was a struggle. Yeah. But the rest of the week I did amazing, bro.
Wow,
amazing.
Man. So you adapted pretty damn well.
Yeah. Okay. So like I thanks to Coach Pablo.
Shout out, man.
Yeah, Pablo and Dushan.
Yep.
They helped me out a lot. Like they saw qualities. They're like, okay, we just gotta structure you.
Yep.
So as soon as they did that, they talked to me. I saw film with them and everything, man. And they're like, okay, yeah, you're doing good. Let's keep it going. So one of the players in my position that, it was their number 10, like whatever, he was the guy to like carry them in the World Cup. Sadly, he got, injured, hamstring. He tore it. Like he was out for 3 months after that. Like torn.
Yep.
And then I went, and basically since he got injured and I was doing good,
they called it.
Yeah. So a month after that camp, I get the call like, hey, you're going to the World Cup.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, talk to me about the World Cup. Like, how does that work? Like, where was it? Like, what was it taking place?
So it was crazy. It was in Lithuania, bro.
Oh, it was in Lithuania.
Lithuania, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
very different culture than from what you experienced in Spain. And
very different. It was weird because it was in 2021, so you still had to wear the mask, and it was a weird World Cup. But fans could still go into the stadium and stuff like that. And sadly, but kind of coolly, like we had the group of death.
Oh, the group of death.
So we had Argentina, which won the last World Cup. We had Iran that won the Asian conference.
Really? Iran?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we had Serbia that got like 4th place in the Euros.
Yep.
And then us.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Well, yeah. So
how did that go?
I debuted versus Argentina. I played 2 minutes. We got smacked by Argentina. Bad, bro. Bad. We got smacked. But we live and learn. You know what I mean? It was a great experience. Like stepping on. Like and then the cameras, as soon as I step on, you hear all the cameras. Like it was crazy, bro. Crazy environment. And then I got selected for the roster for Iran, but I didn't step in. And then Serbia, I played the whole second half.
Yep. How did we do against Iran?
We lost 3-2.
Okay.
So we lost all 3 games, to be honest. But we lost 3-2. That was probably like our best game. And then Serbia, we did really, really well. We just couldn't finish. So we lost that one too. But the Serbia game was on my 21st birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting. So you celebrated your birthday in Lithuania, man. Yeah. Talk to me about the culture of Lithuania. Like what, how, like what's in Lithuania? Like what's going on over there? Like what did you observe?
It's a tiny country, really, but the buildings are beautiful. Okay. The structures are beautiful. The people are cool too. Like what I mean.
What do they speak in Lithuania? Like Lithuanian?
Honestly, I think it's Lithuanian. Okay. Yeah, or maybe I think some people speak Russian. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Put in the comments, if you.
But yeah, I think it's Lithuanian. I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it was a cool experience.
Yeah. It was.
What did you do for your birthday after the game?
So after the game, obviously we took the L. But we went back to the hotel, and they cut a cake for me right there in the hotel. Okay. And we were just saying, and we were just chilling there. Nothing special. It was still COVID, so I mean, we couldn't go out and stuff. But it was cool,
man. And after that experience, I'm guessing you grew a bigger love for is it indoor futsal?
Indoor and futsal.
Okay, so a big love for indoor. What was your next steps after playing for the national team? I'm guessing now you want to go all in with this, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, I think this is what God put on the table for me, so I'm gonna make the most out of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This is gonna be me. This is gonna be my identity. I'm gonna be the best at this.
Yep.
So from there, I just take off, bro, and I get another season with the Dallas Sidekicks. But then I move up into midfielder.
Okay.
And I got 6 goals and 6 assists in like
Wow.
20 games. So it was a better season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep getting every other month national team camp. And then there's a trip to Croatia where we played France, Serbia. Who else? Who else was in that tournament? Serbia and France were semifinal and final, and we went and beat France 4-2 in a little friendly tournament and stuff.
Yeah.
And so like national team camps, another good season with the Dallas Sidekicks, and then after that season with the Dallas Sidekicks, I transitioned to another team in Dallas called the Mesquite Outlaws.
Okay.
Just because they offered me more money and stuff like that, and a bunch of the Sidekicks players transitioned into the Outlaws and stuff like that. So from there, I had another great season, bro. Great season. I think I had 10 goals and 13 assists in 24 games.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So a goal or assist a game, basically.
Yeah, really cool.
And then, from there, national team started giving me the number 10. Like, hey, you're going to be the future of this team.
Wow.
So we're going to see who we can build around you and stuff like that. You got experience. You got veterans that used to play, like, Champions League futsal and people that play in Italy, Serie A and futsal and stuff like that. And then you got all these youngins that are, your homeboys and stuff like that you can bring on. Mm-hmm. So it should be good. So,
wow. So and is that so? Okay, so tell me about now. Like, what's going on now? You still playing for?
Yeah. So now they're called the Texas Outlaws. We changed our name. So I had another season with the Texas Outlaws. This year I got 15 goals, 16 assists in 24 games.
It's ridiculous, man.
So yeah, each year just keeps getting better and better. Confidence is building up and stuff like that. So I'm still doing that. I got one more year under contract with them.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
And then, it's just national team camps. I just got back from Nicaragua because I played the CONCACAF tournament with futsal-wise.
Yep. Wow.
That was a crazy experience, too. It was cool. Yep. It was really, really cool.
So, what clubs or countries did you play against?
So, we played against Guatemala. We played against Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
We played against... who was the other one in our group? Oh, and then we played against Panama in the quarters. Yep. And then, sadly, we lost in the quarters. Yeah, we lost early.
Against Panama?
Yeah, against Panama. And Panama goes on and wins the whole thing after that. Yeah,
okay.
If we would have won that one, we would
have won the whole thing?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it was supposed to be our year, but, it was one of those games where you get 20 chances and only could score 1, and they get 3 and they score 2. So we lost 2-1.
Oh, I see. Dang, that sucks. That hurts.
Yeah,
that hurts.
But I mean, it was cool. It was a cool experience. I was one of the main guys finally after, since 2021. Like, I was only playing 10 minutes or whatever to playing like the whole game in and out and stuff like that. Being the number 10 and stuff like that.
So still on the national team.
Yeah.
Still playing pro indoor.
Yeah.
It's looking great, man.
Yeah, it's looking great.
Wow. So and then last thing you wanted to touch on. So you came down to Orlando.
Yeah.
Which is how we were able to get this going.
Yes, sir.
Had the privilege of getting you on here.
Yep.
It was a tournament. Like what?
Yeah.
What
okay.
was the tournament?
So every off season, every summer, from here on out, basically, like all the indoor players play cash money tournaments.
Okay.
So usually, like, I know it's big in Chicago and Orlando and New York, New Jersey, and in Texas it's really, really big, and in Cali a little bit, but it's really big in like a bunch of team owners, like for example like construction owners and stuff like that, people that got money. This is like their form of betting and bragging rights and stuff like that. So they're like, okay, I'll pay you such amount to represent my team to go play this $10,000 tournament.
Yep.
Or blah, blah, blah. So, like, every year, it's not under contract, so you can hop around teams and stuff. Whoever offers you more, then you just go there.
Yeah.
So, it's a vibe in the summer. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're playing against the same people, then you play with them, and then against them. So, this one was just a $40,000 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And, dude, the craziest tournament I've ever been at, bro. Crazy.
Like,
crazy talent, crazy vibes. The crowd is on top of you. Like, it's crazy. We lost in the semis on some BS. Like, bad, bro, bad. Like, Yeah, but
still a good experience.
it was a crazy experience. I loved it.
Yeah. When's the next one?
The next one, I got a futsal $20,000 tournament in New Mexico in like 3 weeks, I think.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
So
wow.
I'm looking forward to that one.
When does the season start? And first question: when does the season start?
For
like indoor.
For indoor, yeah. So preseason in November.
Okay, in November.
October, November, yeah.
Yep.
And then the first home opener is usually the first weekend of December.
Okay. And where can you watch it for people curious?
So last season, I'm pretty sure this next season is going to be the same thing through Twitch, through MA. Yeah. Okay. So it's free live streaming. Through Twitch, through MASL Soccer, MASL_soccer.
Mm-hmm.
So they just live stream all the games there.
Yep. Okay, wow. So if you want to tune in to David's games, next season, playing for Texas Outlaws.
Yeah.
Twitch, MASL_soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So last question, for people wondering, people that want to, either go pro indoor or want to just go make it to the next level, whether it be in college, whether it be in pro overseas, pro in the US, like, is there any advice you would have for these players, man, and that are facing, some unlucky challenges like you face? Anything you got for them, man?
No, I mean, hey, no matter what you're going through, everything that you're going through is happening for a reason. You know what I mean? If you put your head down and work and do what you're supposed to do and do the extra, you know what I mean? I had years where if I would have done the extra, maybe some outcomes would have been different. And I was lazy. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to, eat right every single day. I didn't want to, sometimes I'd be on my phone until 12:01 and you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So if you do the extra, you do everything right from the get-go and you stay consistent and you put your mind to it, and it'll happen for sure. Like, it'll happen, like, for sure.
Absolutely.
So like, I always tell like kids that come up to me and want autographs and stuff like that, or ask me for advice. Like, I always have my own slogan where it's like happy mind, happy feet. If your mind's right, your feet are gonna act right. You know what I mean? So if you keep, like, I'm a big advocate to mental health because of what I went through and stuff like that. So it's like, if your mind's right, if you train this, everything else is gonna flow. Absolutely. It's connected. So absolutely. Yeah, happy mind, happy feet. Remember that.
Happy feet.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, David, man, it was a pleasure having you on the podcast, man.
And then also, real quick, I wanted to gift you. This little David Ortiz merch.
Snap. Yeah. Show the camera. Look at that.
Hop on the bandwagon.
Absolutely, I will, man. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
So what? This is you right here, right?
Yeah, that's all me. That was last season.
All David Ortiz right here. I'm saying it right, David Ortiz, right? Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely work from the pod next episode, right?
Sure.
But thank you so much, man.
Yeah, bro.
But it was a really honor having you on the podcast, man. Coming, sharing your story, and trusting us to share your story, and hopefully, later in the future we could do this again sometime.
Yeah,
man.
For sure. I'll be in Orlando again for sure for more tournaments and stuff like that. So.
Well, it's an honor having you on.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
Yep.